Next on Worcester News Tonight, Inauguration Night in Worcester. The new year brings new faces to Worcester City Hall and a new warning of a deadly batch of heroin on the streets. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. We begin tonight at the Hanover Theater, where Mayor Joseph Petty was sworn in for a third term Monday night. It was all part of the city of Worcester's inaugural exercises. Senator Ed Markey introducing Mayor Petty to the crowd prior to the mayor's inaugural address.
We celebrate Act 1 and Act 2, Term 1 and Term 2 of Mayor Petty's service as mayor. And tonight, we open Act 3. And this is a Broadway smash hit, produced, directed, and starred in by Mayor Petty. It is becoming, like this theater, a masterpiece theater. That's what's happening to Worcester. We know it, we feel it. You can feel it on the streets of Worcester.
Make no mistake, Worcester is under construction and open for business. And this is the message that's being heard across our region. Boston knows it, Hartford, Springfield, and New York City know it, and the twice daily express train starting in May only confirms that Beacon Hill knows this.
A big night for the City Council and School Committee as well. Worcester's City Council and School Committee also taking their oaths of office. The ceremony also included performances by the Burncoat High School Select Chorus and the Belmont AME Zion Gospel Youth Choir. And whether it was their first inauguration or they've taken part in more than a dozen, members of the School Committee and City Council were excited for the event.
I have a lot of family and friends here tonight, probably about 50 people here at this event.
You know, it's always great to have a little pomp and circumstance to start off the new term, because you know from here on we're going to have some real battles, controversies, maybe a little chaos. So to start it off on this positive note and having the public participate is always a special event.
Prior to tonight's festivities, our Andy Madison spoke with a couple of the newly elected leaders as they prepare for the new year.
Christian King is ready to get to work.
It's an anticipated eagerness. You know, I'm a former athlete, you know, and it's more about getting prepared for the big game, I guess you could say.
Today is officially his first day in office as city councilor at large in Worcester, and it's a historic one. King becomes the first black city councilor elected in the city in more than a half-century.
That's very important that we have a representative government that reflects the diversity of our city.
He's one of two new city councilors sworn in today, along with two new school committee members, Donna Colorio and Molly McCullough.
Most members of my immediate family are either school teachers or in positions where they are, you know, public servants in one faction or another, and it's just always been ingrained in our family to give back for the community, and I thought this was a wonderful opportunity to try to do so in this fashion.
Also sworn in today was Mayor Joseph Petty, who begins his third term.
I think the city's in a great spot. We're doing a lot of wonderful things. I want to continue the progress that we've made and with economic development, with our schools, and with public safety.
A feeling echoed by others who are ready to get to work.
We want opportunities, you know, for our kids. And, you know, that's something I really like to focus on, work with the city manager and my colleagues on, you know, trying to make Worcester a better place to live and to raise your kids.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
The new year begins with new warnings about the dangers of drug use in our region. Worcester District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. says a batch of heroin responsible for overdose deaths in Western Mass is likely heading this way. Our Patricia Nicholas has the details.
A new batch of heroin is killing people in Western Mass. DA Joe Early Jr. says there have been 12 overdoses with 5 deaths in a 48-hour period, and the drug is heading east.
Whenever we get something like that in Hampden County or in adjacent county, we'll let the people know, particularly with the problem as bad as it is right now in all of the state.
The toxicology results on the bad batch known as Hollywood have not yet been released. But DA Early says when something is killing people as fast as Hollywood is, the word has to go out.
Don't use heroin. But aside from that, to the loved ones, the family, anyone who knows that they have a family member or friend who is using, be particularly careful. This heroin that has the Hollywood word on it, is particularly bad.
If one were to use a bad batch of heroin like Hollywood, they will go into immediate overdose, which will result in death. President and CEO of Spectrum Healthcare Systems, Charles Ferris and Early say it's important for people to make use of the Good Samaritan law and potentially save a life.
It says you will not be prosecuted for being in the scene if you call to help somebody who's under the influence and appears.
I saw it work firsthand, bring a person back to life. But again, the danger with the Narcan is Narcan has a limited time. It will work for maybe 20, 40 minutes. And some of the highs with regards to the heroin and the fentanyl can go on for hours. So when the Narcan goes off, they can go right back to the overdose.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
4 men who Springfield police say were major suppliers of heroin were arraigned today. Authorities seized thousands of bags of heroin. They could be linked to several fatal overdoses. 9,000 bags of what's being called Hollywood heroin and more than $20,000 in cash were seized. State's Attorney General says Worcester-based convenience store chain Honey Farms has agreed to pay up to $25,000 to resolve allegations of race discrimination towards a customer. Attorney General Maura Healey's office made the announcement Monday. The settlement is from an alleged incident where a district manager at a Worcester store unfairly targeted and falsely accused a Hispanic customer of shoplifting. The AG's office says the incident happened in March of last year. Honey Farms is also required to adopt and maintain a comprehensive anti-discrimination policy. Meanwhile, Worcester police are looking for a man who's the suspect in the robberies of 2 Honey Farms locations in the city. Police responded to the Honey Farms location on Lincoln Street a little before 4:45 in the afternoon Saturday. According to police, the suspect approached the counter, showed the clerk a handgun, and demanded cash before fleeing. A few minutes after that robbery, police responded to the Grafton Street Honey Farms locations for a similar robbery. There were no injuries in both incidents. The suspect is described as a male with a light complexion, approximately 5'6", with medium build, wearing a sweatshirt and jeans. 20-year-old man is facing some serious charges. He's accused of causing serious bodily injury to a child. A 3-year-old boy was being treated at UMass Memorial Medical Center when doctors realized the child was suffering from multiple blunt force trauma to the abdomen. Worcester police say the boyfriend of the child's mother is being held responsible. His identity is being withheld due to Massachusetts domestic violence law. That child is listed in a guarded condition. A missing Northeastern University student from Worcester, whose image was posted to highway billboards in an all-out search following his disappearance more than a month ago, has been found dead. The family of 20-year-old Dennis Njarge, Burncoat High School graduate, has confirmed that his body was recovered from the Charles River in Boston on New Year's Eve. According to police, his death is not thought to be suspicious and is being investigated as a non-homicide. Police in Barre arrest a 29-year-old man. He's charged with stabbing another man in the chest. The incident came as a surprise to some in the normally quiet town. Our Olivia Lemon has more.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Doesn't usually happen in Barre.
Barre police are investigating an overnight stabbing on Wawanet Road. People in the area say something like this usually doesn't happen in such a small town.
But every now and then, crime will rear its ugly head, I guess, but it's still a surprise.
Police arrested 29-year-old William Griffin around midnight on Monday. The New Braintree man is charged with 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Police say a 32-year-old male victim was bleeding from the chest but suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
I don't know if it's drug-related or not, but it seems to be, there's a lot of drugs around, not so much in town, but the surrounding towns.
Mass State Police and Barre Police are investigating. Police say more charges may be pending for Griffin.
Police are very good, and I'm glad they've got the guy.
I don't think it's something that's going to spread, but it is a wake-up call after a sorts.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
A downtown restaurant is closing its doors for good after more than 2 decades in the city. The sign on the door at Viva Bene reads, "Viva Bene is closed. We thank our customers for 23 years of support." The restaurant had an event on New Year's Eve. An auction is set for Wednesday at the restaurant. Viva Bene was formerly known as Shora's.